season 3, your character, she's a ringer. So, what was the hardest scene to play this season?
Yeah, it feels so long ago. We always come to Comic-Con. We've had like 3 months of hiatus, and so it's really hard to remember. Especially like the hardest scene, like it was blocked out of memory. I don't love the stunt stuff that much, just because it's just so tricky. It doesn't feel like, I don't know, I just don't love it. So anything that involves like a 15-hour day of like intense stunts, which are always very complicated routines, they're like my least favorite. What can you talk about the character dynamic with the library? You know, it was a very kind of complicated, fraught relationship for a long time. They, you know, definitely rekindled a bit of a romance close to the end of last season, and, you know, I think especially now that 5 years have passed, enough mourning time has passed between Jackson dying. So I think that, you know, if she is able to save the Michelsons, I think that Haley and Elijah will probably resume their romance. Yeah.
You mentioned the time jump, and obviously that's going to impact Haley and Hope's relationships. Are you really interested to kind of dive into it with, you know, an older Hope? Are you interested to explore that more?
Yeah, you know, we've cast the girl already, and I read with her during the audition process, and she's gorgeous, and exactly what I imagine Hope to be. She has to be, you know, this mystical, magical, little adorable thing that is worth everything, you know, and so yeah, I'm really excited to have kind of a relationship with her, and it not just be a baby, you know, and actually be able to have conversations with her, and it's going to be really fun to see like how much she knows about magic, and maybe does she have to go to magic school, and what does she have to learn about being a witch and stuff. So I think that's going to be really fun.
We lost a lot of characters this season, so as Phoebe, not as Haley, if you had to bring someone back, who would it be?
It'd be a toss-up between Cammy and Davina. Definitely. Yeah, I miss them. You know, it's weird coming back for the 4th season and they're not here. I'm so used to being like, okay, girls' night. I just love them both so much, and I also just loved having their characters. You know, it's great. Freya is a great character as well, but it's definitely nice to have women to, and I'm hoping that this season Freya and Haley have a bit more of a relationship together, and it's not just like in the same room, like saving the boys and not really acknowledging each other. There's like a lot of that, so I'm hoping that they have a relationship with each other this season. I think it's really important that, you know, we show that between these characters. But yeah, Phoebe misses Leah and Danielle a lot.
So you mentioned that the time jump. Anything else you can tell us about the first episode coming back?
The first episode, it definitely, you know, explains what has been going on for the last 5 years, where Haley has been hiding, where she's been running from, what Marcel and Vincent have been up to, and they've kind of formed a bit of a legion with each other. But yeah, we only filmed 2 days so far, and there's also a really great new character, a new werewolf character, Keelan, who I shot with yesterday, who's like a very feisty, cool character as well.
What about, obviously, Haley is, you know, you said, you don't want it to just be her and Freya rescuing the boys. Because obviously 5 years have passed, she's still she has the Michelsons with her. What kind of avenues do you think she could explore, or could you tease that she's going to be able to help them? You know, how could she reawaken them?
You know, Freya left her with a list of things that she needed to find to make the spell. And so yeah, she's been sort of searching for those things for the last 5 years. Grandma Mary's still around helping her out. Yeah, so she's just been looking, trying to hide as well as find these things that she needs for Freya's spell.
Do you think at some point she would return back to Mystic Falls for help there?
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not sure I don't even think we've mentioned the word crossover yet. I don't know if that's on the cards, you know, especially with the time jump. I think it starts to get a little confusing. yeah.
And if she finds the cure, and imagine she could only awaken one of them, who do you think she would choose?
I'd say Elijah, probably. Yeah. Kind of boring answer, but yeah.
So with the Vampire Diaries coming into the last season now, is there someone from that show that you would love to see jump over to the original series? Whether it be a character or an actor?
I mean, I think who would be? It would be kind of fun to have like, I don't know, like Caroline, Candace, just because like we need more girls. Candace or like Kat or like any of the girls, because we need more like ratio girls to boys on our show. So yeah.
Do you know any other new characters? I mean, Selena was a great witch, and are there any others coming over that are top witch? Maybe to help them?
To help, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know yet. There's no real witch. I mean, I think Vincent is kind of the head of the witches now, and he's kind of doing his own thing behind everyone's back with the witches. So yeah, I think that'll, affect the Michelsons if they ever wake up. That kind of weird relationship now. And Detective Kinney, I think, is coming back. Yeah.
Do you think a shift in power is in order? You know how they say Haley's the only one that Claus really fears. So maybe something like woman more than man at some point.
Yeah, I would. I don't know if that's gonna happen, unfortunately. I would love that. I've always thought, there could be a real interesting world in which Haley takes over New Orleans. That's just like selfish. I want to be like, I want to be the queen. Yes. But because I do think that like Haley has a bit of a power, especially over Elijah and Klaus, and I wish you could see that be like played into a little bit. But this show is about the Michelson brothers and the Michelsons, so I don't think that Haley would ever be able to overthrow them, unfortunately.
You should go into the writer's room and try to pitch it.
I try, with cupcakes and stuff. Yeah, right? I know. Well, they loved Leah and Danielle as well. It was obviously very emotional for everyone, including the writers and everyone, just because we love them so much, and the characters were so important to our story and there from the beginning, and it sucked to lose them, but hopefully it creates other different avenues to go down this season, with different characters coming in.
Last question, guys.
Is there anything, you've been through a lot, so a lot of adventures. Is there any crazy thing that you wanted to do?
Anything that I wanted to do, I always wanted to do a flashback. The interesting piece of information that I ever got from my character was that Marcel saved Haley as a baby. So Marcel once came in and saved Haley when she was a baby in a cot and took Haley. And we never really spoke about it again. So I would love to see what that was, what happened, why does Marcel know Haley? Her real last name was Lebonaire. I would love to explore that and see what she was like as a teenager, why she turned, how she turned, all that I would be really interested in seeing.